Hey folks, and welcome to another video of mine. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Dark Pictures Anthology, House of Ashes. Yes, this is the last week. We're doing the Shocktober. Last week, I played another horror game called The Medium on the Xbox Series S, and here we are at it again, playing another horror game titled The House of Ashes. Now, The House of Ashes, sitting on the Xbox Series S, is not a massive game. Oh, by the way, talking about massive, it's made by a company called Supermassive Games in collaboration with Bandai Namco. So speaking about the size of the game, it's less than 30 gigabytes on your Xbox Series S, and yes, it needs to sit on your internal storage because this is an Xbox Series X or an S game. Now, this is not the beginning of the game, just to let you know. It has a very interesting premise. Now, if you don't already know it, the Dark Pictures Anthology, it has a series of these interactive movie type games. Now, the reason why I'm saying movie type games is because it's a question mark for me, because if you've played any of the other games in this series, well, I did play Man of Medan as well, and it was kind of a slow burn for me. I didn't enjoy it as much as this game, and I'll tell you why I really liked this game so much. As we move into the gameplay, I will definitely share my comments and my views on why I actually liked this game. I haven't played the second game in the series, which is, I believe, Little Hope. So I've not had the chance to play Little Hope, but yeah, coming back to this game, well, this is, to some people, they may not even call it a game. It's actually more like an interactive movie. And in many ways, even to me, it does seem like an interactive movie to me, because there are very little gameplay elements. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong in that. And I think during this time of COVID, if you've learned something, then we've learned that, a lot of movie making got stalled or it got delayed because of the COVID. And even when it comes to game development, but hey, if we're still talking about a world like, COVID going around, then I think there might still be restrictions on filming locally with people around. And with that scenario still in place, I think a lot of animations, a lot of these interactive type of games or movies might come out. So yeah, now that I've mentioned that, well, to start off with, the story of this game, well, beautiful. It's an excellent backdrop of Iraq, and when we talk about Iraq, it has a lot of mythology in this game. Now, although what you're seeing on screen may not allude to it, but let me tell you that, I've not shown those parts in the gameplay because I do want you to experience this game or interactive movie, whatever you want to call it. It's because the story is quite interesting. Now, like I said, I did play Man of Medan as well. And I think it started off very slowly and it was not as interesting as this one. Now, this game has a very, very interesting opening cutscene. And that lays out the groundwork of what's about to come in terms of what we can expect from the story, and that keeps you hooked into what's going to happen with these characters. And by the way, they have done, you could say, quite a good work with the characters, because you kind of feel for the characters, each one of them. So and there are going to be shocks for you when you move into the game, because we are going to lose some of these characters, and some very early on. I'm not going to talk about who we are going to lose, because it also depends on your choices. Now, this game follows the same multi-path kind of a storytelling. So depending upon the choices that you make, depending upon the traits that you choose to give your character, it will have an impact on not just your character, but the characters around you. Now, as far as the game goes, as you could see, there are two modes in the game. One is a quality mode, one is a performance mode. I believe in the performance mode, it does run at 60 FPS, but you sacrifice a little bit in terms of lighting, shadows, and the textures, I think, get compromised when it comes to playing it on the performance mode. for games like this, I mean, where you have so much of storytelling, there's no point in playing a game like this in 60 FPS. So I personally prefer playing it in the quality mode. But hey, in case you want to play it in the performance mode, well, there is a performance mode, just so you know. Now, again, you are introduced to all the characters that you're going to be playing around with moving forward in the game. And, each character has, you could say, something going for him or her. And you kind of relate to, each character. So it's quite an interesting setup. And by the way, if you are not fond of long storytelling, cutscenes, etc., again, this game is not for you. I enjoy these type of games. I even enjoyed a game called Until Dawn on the PlayStation. It was PlayStation exclusive, but I really enjoyed that game. And again, it's from the same studio, I believe, and you see a lot of similarities, between the kind of gameplay. And this is the kind of gameplay like you see on screen. These choices that I was talking about. So yeah, you can actually choose to be a prick, or you can choose to be polite. So if you didn't notice, there was a character trait that comes up right on top as soon as you make these choices, because you're the person who is in charge of how you want your character to turn out to be later on in the game. So here you are introduced to your team. All right. Now this is the team that is going to go down a cave a little further down in the story. And again, these choices. You see RB right on top, traits updated. You choose to be truthful. So just like that, character traits are something that have been designed in this game based upon your choices and how you want these characters to turn out to be. And the voice acting, the facial animations, it's impressive. And what is also impressive is the lighting. And I'm going to talk about this. If you know, or if you've seen my videos, I'm a big fan of lighting in these games, because it does have a huge impact on the way the game looks.
So she's the queen bitch now.
So again, look at those lip movements. The voice acting is stellar.
Term of endearment.
Even the expressions. Most of the times you would have games where characters are expressionless. You could say so. The lips are moving, but there are hardly any expressions on their faces. But this one here, you are gonna find expressions on the faces of these characters. And again, the thing that I want to talk about, I think this game has got ray tracing going for it. It seems like that because the reflections, I don't know if you can make it out on the tiles, the light that is reflecting or bouncing off those tiles, it does seem like it has ray tracing. Now, I'm not sure about that. So in case you are, you can let me know in the comment section, as to whether this game has ray tracing or not. Maybe the quality mode might have ray tracing. Maybe the performance mode may not have ray tracing, but lighting is brilliant. And again, look at the reflections, even the shadows on the ground. Big fan of lighting, big fan of shadows, big fan of reflections. The one thing that I did not like about this game, and it's very, very, you could say, apparent, and that is texture popping.
Colonel King.
There are scenes where
Mrs. King.
the entire scenario has been laid out, but there are textures which take maybe a couple of seconds to load up. So that is an issue that I've found out on the Xbox Series S. Now I do not know about the Xbox Series X, so in case you have an Xbox Series X, if you've played this, let me know. I mean, if you've had a problem like that. So texture popping is a problem that definitely exists on the Xbox Series S. And I can understand, this game is gorgeous. I mean, there's so much happening on the screen.
Somehow I doubt that very much.
And again, look at those expressions, look at those facial animations.
It confirms that Lieutenant Colonel King is
brilliant,
control of
brilliant,
this operation.
guys. And in case you're wondering, so far this has all been one lengthy cutscene. Hey, you are in store for only this. because you are going to have these lengthy cutscenes. All you got to do is just,
Dr. Stokes,
you know, there are going to be
prepare the
some
presentation.
scenes where, you know, you have to take an action, and you
You
have to take an
found
action
something?
at the right time. If you miss that time window, then it's going to have a drastic impact on the way the game is going to turn out to be. So,
What is that? Modern art or something?
This is footage from the highly
a lot of
classified
characters,
Kalis program.
and as you can see, you know, I mean, these days it's all about diversity, it's all about
thermal satellite system that I
inclusiveness.
personally pioneered.
So even when it comes to the team, you have an Asian guy, you have a black guy, and the rest of the
You
white
behave
people
like this in all your
in
briefings,
it.
Corporal?
And if you don't already know this,
Boys are just
by the
eager to
opening
catch a
scene,
break,
this
sir.
has been set in
No
Iraq.
comment.
Very well.
So
Satellite sweeps
this
of the war zone have
particular,
uncovered what appears to be an underground
you could say,
storage
scenario
facility.
is where, you know,
This
we
will, of course,
have
require further investigation, but I strongly
Eric,
suspect
who is, I think, kind of a
Saddam's chemical
protagonist of the
weapons are
game,
hidden.
at least so far, you know, I mean, that I've
God,
played. I've played a couple of,
son of
more
a
than a couple of
bitch.
hours, in fact. I've actually
CENTCOM
done
has
3.5
given
to
green
4
light
hours
to
of this
raid
game
the
already.
facility and seize any
And
weapons on site.
depending on, you know,
Soviets
your
may be
choices,
over,
you can
but there are
actually
holdout
have
groups of
some
Republican Guard all over the country.
kind of
They could deploy
villainous
those weapons at any
traits,
time, so
or,
we need
you
to
know, he
move
can be a
fast.
good guy
The
overall.
Army is giving us a ride
Altogether.
out
So
there
now
like
he's just
healers.
briefing his team.
On
So the
arrival,
premise here
Lieutenant Kolchak
is
will lead
that
the raid on the facility.
through some satellites, they have
Once
found out
secured,
that
we'll
there
carry
is,
out a full weapons inspection.
you could say, a space like a
Now
cave,
listen up. There's been
a
a
hollow
change in
space,
leadership, but
which
Rachel's
may
operational expertise and local
house
knowledge
some
is just as valuable as
weapons,
ever.
chemical weapons,
She'll be flying
etc.
with us,
in this
and I want
hollow
you all to
space.
show her the same respect.
And
Any questions?
they want to find out.
Fuck
They want
you
to go
waiting
there. They
for?
want to find out, you
Ready.
know, if
That's
that
trouble
particular space that
territory,
Eric
Lieutenant
is
Colonel.
talking about
Make
does
no
have
mistake.
weapons.
Those people are feral.
Because this is a
we're
universe,
getting their
and if you had
support.
seen the timeline right at the start of the
Many
video
birds
game,
to bring them down
this
on
is a
us.
universe where
Little bastard.
Saddam Hussein
Bastard.
is
Yeah, that's pretty
still
much what
alive.
your mama said to me.
Hey, careful, boy.
So it's set in the past,
Out so
not a
fast.
distant past.
Been your puppy.
And a
All right,
quick
that's
small
enough,
spoiler:
Darwin.
the game
Sir?
starts off in the
What's your
distant, you know, distant past. So well, I'm not saying everything here, but I do want you to experience the game.
I'll
That's
put
why,
in a
you know,
request
I've
for
not
our
even
support
opened the
team
game
standby.
with the opening cutscene. I
Our birds
actually
can fly low under
started
the
this
radar.
game
The site is
after
in the
that
Zagros
scene.
Mountains, so we'll
You
have
see
to
how,
move ground.
you know, I mean, the character trait has already
Go dark until
been
weapons are secured.
updated.
If we don't break radio sounds within 24 hours, CENTCOM will mount a rescue operation.
A lot of shit
Man,
can go
this
down in 24
character,
hours.
this character called Joey,
Bitch.
I'm just saying.
he
that's all.
looked so real.
This is why we went to war.
I mean, it's amazing.
This is
The
what gets us
character
out of bed every
really,
morning.
really looks real. I mean, in
Make no
some of the
mistake,
scenes,
ladies and gentlemen,
it's phenomenal.
This is how we stop
Just look at
Saddam
that
from
guy.
using
I mean-
these weapons.
Even the Asian dude.
Be ready in 1 hour. Dismissed.
Okay, so now they're getting ready to go over to that location to find out if there is an entry point
Clarice,
into that hollow
help me
space
stop the
that they've
equipment.
seen
I'm on it.
through the satellite. And quickly gonna switch over to the other scene. So here, again, you know, look at that level design. It is brilliant. The level design is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, from the windows, you have those god rays, those light rays coming in. And now when he steps out, look at this scene. Oh my god. This scene is fantastic. Look at the lighting in the background. And I don't know if you've already noticed, but the entire game is in CinemaScope. So you have black bars at the top and at the bottom. So this whole game actually feels like a movie. You're drawn into this world and you feel like you're a part of this movie. It's like you are the actor in the movie. And again, you know, I mean, right now we're still out in the open. It still doesn't feel that claustrophobic, but we're about to get into those caves where the feeling will be that claustrophobic feeling. And again, that transition from the door over the outside was brilliant. And the way the lighting works in this game is absolutely stellar.
There is shit.
I mean,
You got
it
something to
is
say, Sergeant?
gorgeous, mind-blowing,
Look at the ground.
the way they have
What do you
actually
see?
worked with the lighting,
Jack shit.
the backdrops,
There was a
the level
silo roof on
design.
the tracks.
Nah, man, this is
Fantastic.
fishing expedition.
Although
This
in
precious
3.5 to 4
has
hours,
got it
although
all
I
wrong.
did not have a lot of
Orders,
levels,
Sergeant. The search is far from over.
there are specific spaces
Alright,
that you will navigate through. But they have put attention to detail in those specific spaces. And again, even here, the cartons, the rug on the wall, uh, the light bulb, right up to the roof, made out of wood. So here you have some local language being spoken, Iraqi, but you do have subtitles. So I recommend that you actually turn the subtitles on while you're playing this game, and it's gonna make it easier for you to understand and follow, what's happening. And again, look at those shadows. Wow, excellent, guys.
That's heroin.
And when we move over to the next scene,
Just keeps getting better
you will
every day.
understand, how the
These
lighting has
people are
been
nothing
used
but
in this
common
game.
crooks. What the fuck was Eric thinking?
I want this place turned inside out.
This particular scene, look at the lighting now. The light bouncing off the character, and him pointing the, you could say, the torch with the gun. Oh, this is brilliant. And this is what I was talking about, claustrophobic spaces. And the way this whole thing has been set up, it is very cinematic. And again, see those jump scares. Wow, if you're playing this game in a dark room, there are some jump scares in there, and it will get you. Excuse me, it will get you for sure. And again, that use of lighting. Look at how important lighting becomes in a game. It just makes everything look so good. Again, jump scares. How are you finding this game so far, guys? I mean, you can write it in the comment section. I enjoyed my time with with the game for 3.5 to 4 hours. And yeah, I wanted to show you bits and pieces, but also not spoil too much. Now, I'm a big fan of, this rich history or this mythology that they show in the game. Now, it's set in Iraq. So, of course, there is some Sumerian and Babylonian influences when it comes to, the mythology in the game. And if you're a fan of, the show Ancient Aliens, well, you're going to be feeling right at home. Even if you've read the book, The Chariots of the Gods by Eric von Daniken. So the story backdrop is extremely interesting. You are going to be curious to find out what's going to happen. What have you gotten into? And you want to uncover what's in store for you. You want to know more about the creatures. You want to know more about the history of this place that you have now come.
What do you mean, something?
Get into. So it's very interesting, and I want to leave it, being suspenseful for you folks. And again, I've tried not to spoil a lot in the game. Of course, a horror game, so you are gonna have monsters. Yeah. So that's why it was okay to show the monster in the game.
You gotta believe me.
No, you believe this, Sergeant. You didn't see shit.
And again, these choices, the whole concept of a multi-path interactive game. And look at that lighting again.
The hell is this place?
So atmospheric.
Flung history at school.
Wow. In places this game shines, and some scenes literally has you thinking whether you're actually watching a movie or you're actually playing a game. Now we have come to such a stage where technology has come so far that you can actually feel like that. Again, those Babylonian, mythology that I was talking about. So you come across some tablets. You even come across cuneiform texts in the game. Again, very interesting. That rich mythology that I was talking about. And if you are a fan of the Ancient Aliens, that show that airs on History or aired on History Channel, then you are going to love this. The story will draw you in. and there's a lot, you know. So all these characters, they've now been separated inside these caves. So now the gameplay will have you play as these different characters, and your choices will lead to them either dying or surviving.
This thing is heavier than
So
it
your
looks, skinny man.
typical horror
I'm gonna need some more muscle.
movie or horror game. You know, I mean, always a bunch of core characters, and some live, some die, and that's how it is. Again, look at those god rays, those
Jesus, I'm trying. Will you stop
light
squirming
rays.
around?
Fabulous,
Bad.
fabulous.
He's bleeding out. We have to cut him down right now.
Hold tight, buddy. We got you. Nick, I need you here.
Cut the wires.
This game also has a lot of gore, a lot of blood, and some scenes kind of get you. So if you're not a fan of blood and gore, you're not gonna enjoy this. But hey, it's a horror game, for God's sake. So
You're gonna pull through, brother.
you know what you're getting yourself into, yeah?
My back. Grab it. We're gonna pump you up, okay?
Hurry the hell up!
We got this. You keep lookout.
So again, you know, I mean, it's a great game. I enjoyed my 3.5 to 4 hours. I think somewhere in between that, and I would highly recommend this game. You know, it seriously can get you in some scenes. The jump scares, they are effective, and
Jason and Nick.
you also have these
Others in
moments of,
arms, but are they really as
you could
close
say,
as they
dialogue,
appear?
you know, by this guy
Or
called the
would it be a
curator.
case of each man for himself?
But overall, a very richly satisfying
Let's
experience
not
to me,
forget
because I
that they've
enjoy
already
storytelling
lost
games. I
Corporal
enjoy
Merwin
not just
to
shooting all the
Dark,
time. I
and the
enjoy
night is
rich,
still young.
good stories being told, and especially with a backdrop like this, I really enjoyed this game. I would highly recommend that you actually try this out. Now, it's out on both Xbox and on PlayStation, and it does come at a cost because it's not on Game Pass, so you would have to pay for it to download it. But again, I would highly recommend this game, and yeah, I would say I enjoyed my time with the game. So let me know if you've played this game. What do you like about this game? Did you like it? Did you not like it? In case you did not like it, do let me know in the comment section, and also let me know, you know, whether you think this is actually a game or it's an interactive movie. What are your thoughts? More game or more interactive movie? Which one would you choose? Let me know why as well. Well, I would say we can end the video here. If you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, you can support me by hitting that like and subscribe button. Also hit that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. Now, I do put out videos like this, and it's all across my channel. So if you feel like this is the kind of content that you enjoy, then you could share it with your friends and family members as well. It would really help me out, because you commenting, you sharing helps me with the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, you can support me in that way. And it's a wrap for this one. I'll see you again, folks, in the next video. Until then, I'd say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.